Good morning, guys. It's Big Man Comics Live. I'm Gabe Eltaeb. It is Monday, February 24th, and we are working on the Unstoppable Tigers. I hope you all had a great weekend. I had a fantastic weekend. It's spring here. I left my house yesterday to, to go with my wife and big baby, and we were going to we went up to the gold mining town in the mountains, then we went to the beach, and it's just such an amazing place to live. You could be in the mountains, like the old-timey West gold mines, and then you're, you could be at the greatest beach in the world, La Jolla Shores. You could be there in 30 minutes, and it's all very, very close to my home. But yeah, it's 75 degrees, blue skies. It's a great time, and that is America's finest city. That is San Diego. Hector says hello from Tijuana. It's 20 miles to the south. When your leg is better, Hector, we'll get some more tacos, some authenticos. I went back to Tacos de la Huera, the one you took me to. I went back there with my wife like a month ago. It was pretty good. I had what did I have? I think I had asadero. It was like carne asada, and it was like in a red sauce, kind of like an enchilada sauce, but it's slightly different. It was very good. So yeah. So I'll head back to TJ and see you sooner or later. You let me know when your leg is better. And for some of you on here, you talk to me on like Instagram and stuff. I don't check Instagram anymore. I don't look at it. Sorry, it's nothing personal. I know I had fans and subscribers and all that, and they would send me DMs on Instagram a lot, and I basically don't look at Instagram. I look at it like once a week, and yeah. So if you're sending me messages there, sorry, I'm not checking them really. I do check them. As Canadian people say, occasionally. Instead of occasionally, they say occasionally. And instead of organization, they say organization or something like that. And they say sorry a lot too instead of sorry. Yes, tacos and burritos. It was adobada. It wasn't adobada. It was asadero or something like that. It was the big strip of carne asada, but they dunked it in the red sauce, and then it was in the tacos. It was quite good. I made a YouTube video and posted it on this channel actually. But Hector, have you been to? I'm sure you have since you live in TJ. Ahumadoras. That famous street, it dates back to the 1960s where the taquerias really came into prominence there, I guess. I've been there 2 or 3 times. It was quite good. It's quite good. There's like, this is a place in Tijuana, not far from the border, about a 5-minute drive by taxi cab. That's an experience, a taxi cab in Tijuana. They have you'll see. You got to get the cab in Tijuana. Las Ahumadoras, it's on a little street like 10 minutes from the border by taxi. I don't know where it is, but if you get in the taxi and they ask where you want to go, you say Las Ahumadoras. It means like the steamy place, the smoky place. And on the street, there are like 4 or 5 taquerias that have street side like bars. So the sidewalk, and then literally there's chairs and a bar. And it's like sitting at a bar where you order beers and all that, but you just order tacos, the different kind from the thing. And they cut them right there and fix them right there for you. And you know, most of the taquerias are that way in Tijuana. You have Tacos El Frank, which is very good. I thought Tacos El Frank was good. Which ones did I like? I've been to Hotel Caesar, and that is on Revolution Avenue in Tijuana, and that is where the Caesar salad was invented. Did you know that? And it's not Caesar like, oh, great Caesar from Rome. It's Cesar, probably a Mexican guy named Caesar or something. Oh, I think it was Caesar Cardini, and he was an Italian guy, and he had the hotel in Tijuana, and they invented the Caesar salad. Is that correct? Am I getting my history correct there, or am I making that up? Anyway, I've been there once or twice, and they will make the Caesar salad tableside, and they make the dressing tableside in a giant wooden bowl. They'll crush up I think it's eggs and oil, a little bit of mustard, anchovies. I think there's garlic, salt, pepper, stuff like that, and they'll make that tableside for you. And yeah, it's fresh Caesar dressing, and it's quite good. So, Hector, oh, it's like a food court. I'll check it out when I can walk. Yeah, Caesar had knee surgery in the recent months. He's out of commission for a while. He's on the injured reserve, but they'll bring him back for the end of the baseball season or football season. It's not a food court. It's just a street. Let me see if I can Google a picture of it. Does anyone even use Google anymore? I always say Google, and I'm not actually Googling anything. I'm going to look that up, though. Las Ahumadoras. I don't know how to spell it, but Las Ahumaderas, it has an E. Okay. Tijuana, and that is, yeah, so here's a picture of it. Hold on, let me throw that up on the screen. Present, share screen, entire screen. Here we go. It's this right here. This is it. So there's different taquerias next door to each other on this street here, and you just saddle up to the bar, and you order. I'll have 2 of these, 2 of those, and it's delicioso, and it's a couple of them. And you see how small the sidewalk is, and then literally you sit right. Gotta stop saying literally, everyone. Those teenage girls, they make everyone say literally because they're saying it too much. They are literally saying it too much. And I'm catching myself saying it constantly, and I hate that. But yeah, you just go up like this gentleman standing here, and you see there's chairs, and you sit, and there's different ones. There's El Paisano, yeah, there's different ones. I've eaten at which one I've eaten at the same one the times I've been there. I think I've eaten at, I don't know, but it was good. It was delish. So the Caesar salad story is correct. Okay, it is. Guys, hit the like, hit the share. We'll get this out there. We'll let everyone know we're here and to come in and to check out what Big Man Comics is up to. It's a California thing. Literally never leaves us. What are you talking about? The great weather? And Hector says, "Oh, I know that place." Okay, yeah. So if you've been there, those are fantastic tacos. Muy ricos. Oh, hold on. I dropped my pencil for drawing. Let me grab that. I'm going to have to crawl on the floor for a second. Just get down here. And, okay. Got that. Oh, got a lot of stuff in my office. Let's see. Yeah, so what are we up to, Big Man Comics? The Unstoppable Tyrus, we are pencils. Really? Someone's calling me right now. It's probably just a spam call, right? Yeah, these are just those local numbers that call you, that spam stuff. I hate that so much. Oh, by the way, guys, FTD Flowers tried to rip my family off this morning. Do not order from them. My wife ordered my mom flowers for her birthday to send to where she lives. And when she was going to check out, it was $69. As soon as she hit like accept, it jumped to $91. Did not agree to $91. Had to call customer service, waste a fucking half hour. Then they finally gave back like 20, 30 bucks or whatever. But after just fighting with her about it and trying to bullshit and, oh, we can't cancel your order. And blah, oh, you can take the money, but don't order from them ever. FTD, ever. You lost a customer since forever. And I told my wife, just order flowers on Amazon. That's what I've always done. Because Amazon, you can return anything. I have free delivery of Prime. She didn't know that Amazon also did flowers and chocolates and all that. But FTD, you're out. Nobody ever order from there. Today's show is brought to you by FTD Flowers. When you need a liar to charge you extra at checkout, go with FTD. That is a parody. That is a joke. You can't do anything to me about that. But it did really happen. It did really happen. So fuck them forever. Let your friends know. Don't order from there. Do not ever order from there. Yeah. You know, I run a business. I'm smart enough to know the customer is always right. I'm smart enough to understand that. Not sure why some businesses aren't, and they want to sit there and argue with you about something that they made a mistake on. But yeah, my poor wife just spent a half hour on the phone arguing with people. And could you imagine being the customer service person on the phone? Like, you answer phones for FTD or whatever, but it's not your flower company, so you don't really care. And you probably also agree with my wife that it wasn't right to change the price when we clicked, confirm purchase. And but you got your marching orders from your bosses there, so you do what they tell you, even though probably in your own head you're like, yeah, that is bullshit. Why did it do that? That puts you in a real crappy situation. I'm not mind reading. I don't know that the customer service person thought anything like that, but that's what I would think if I worked there, so. Grack RPG was saying when I said literally, I say literally too much also, even though I've been in Texas for a while. I meant to say literally all the time as well. Yeah, I got to stop doing that. I hate it. It's annoying. It sounds like a stupid Valley Girl thing. It's literally annoying. And I just noticed how much I've been saying it lately. And I'm a grown man. I don't need to be talking like a teenage girl. That's ridiculous. Literally. It's, I don't know. So if you hear me say literally on here, call it out. I don't want to say that. I think it sounds stupid. I'm sure there is a case to actually say it, where you would need to say it and it made sense, but most of it, no. Most of it is bull. So no, we're having a good time. We're up to page 60 in pencils for the Unstoppable Tyrus, and this is inks for page 47. So I'm behind the my layout guy by 13 pages, I suppose. But that's all right. I am catching up slowly because I can ink a little bit faster than he can draw. But he is epically fast as a layout pencil artist. He is really unbelievably fast, which is unusual because most people that are fantastic illustrators, not most, but a majority I've seen, they're quite slow at drawing. Not sure what that is. Some are just lazy, but many, that's just the process. It does take a long time to make great art. I get that. It is a rare thing when you find someone who's fast and good. But they're out there. Or I should say we are out there, those of us that are good at this and fast. So, because I can do more than a page a day of inks easily. That's easy for me. I've got these down to like 5 hours now inking. Student OG, Hell Chat, thanks, big man, for being a professional, not having mental breakdowns on streams. Listen again. My whole thing as a customer service. My grandfather ran a tortilla factory and Mexican restaurant for the better part of half a century. My dad worked for himself. My uncle worked for himself. This is what I saw growing up: as men working for themselves. And I understand the customer is king. So, like, I got to keep it where I keep you guys happy, and I'm honest and I'm myself. And it's an evolving process, right? Nobody's perfect, but I do think that there is no big man comics without the without the audience, and I love doing this. I love being home every day and drawing, so I need to earn it every day. And you earn it by treating the people. I remember being in my grandparents' restaurant when I was a little boy. My parents were like, in graduate school. My brother was in kindergarten, and I was 4 years old, and I had nowhere to go, so I would stay at the Mexican restaurant, and I would play. I would play in the kitchen. I would play in the dining room where the customers were eating. I was a very precocious young man, as you can imagine. I'd go up to some customer's table and just start eating their chips and salsa with them and go, "Hi, I'm Gabe. What's your name?" And just ask them questions and stuff. And I've always been a big talker, and I've always been a conversationalist since I was a little guy. And but I do understand, like, people coming into your restaurant. That's how it started for me, seeing my grandparents. That's a very personal thing. I mean, food is, it's a very personal thing. Food, it's nutrition, it's sustenance, it's family time, it's joy, and you want to make that experience as good as possible for people. And I saw, like, growing up in that, I saw the pride and the craftsmanship my grandparents took, making a humble thing like a tortilla. Do you know how many ingredients a tortilla has? My grandparents' recipe is from the 40s, right, when they started. So this is a old recipe, not the modern stuff where there's 800 ingredients. But a corn tortilla has 3 ingredients. It's corn, water, and lime. That's it. And the lime isn't really an ingredient. It's a trace ingredient that's there because when you make corn tortillas, you have to boil them like for overnight, and then you can grind the corn because the husk is too hard. So you put a couple 100 pounds of corn in a giant vat, and we had a couple vats, so hundreds of pounds of these 50-pound bags of corn. You rip the top, you pour the corn in. Then there was like a garden hose thing connected to the wall in this big kitchen. You fill the pot with water, and then it was like a cereal bowl, but it was measured out into this white powder called lime, which is very alkaline. And you put that in the water, so it's an alkaline solution. And what that will do overnight is eat the husk of the corn. And then the next day you rinse it, and then you get it into the molina, which is a grinder, and then you make your corn tortillas. But if you have a good package of corn tortillas and you flip them over, they're going to have 3 ingredients. It's going to be water, corn, and lime. And I just saw the pride my grandparents took in what they did. And by pride, I don't mean arrogant. We need fucking shit. We need another word in English. The English language has tons of words. Compared to Spanish, there are 20% more words in English than Spanish. Did you know that? That's why you can't translate it one for one, Spanish to English. I didn't know that till like 2 years ago. But we use the word pride for like arrogant, boastful bullshit. Like, oh, he's prideful. But then we say taking pride in your work is a good thing of character. We need a word for that. We need a totally different word for taking pride in your work in the good moral sense, because the word pride is corrupted as the arrogance, more so than the having character. It's funny that the word pride has two diametrically opposed meanings. One is awful and arrogant, and one is humble and honorable. So we do need another word. I will be in contact with Webster's dictionary about this post haste. But yeah, I saw the pride they took in their work, and it was instilled in me to like, you better work. You better do your work, because these people, when they walk through the door of our restaurant, they're paying our bill, our light bill, our gas bill. They're buying our groceries. They're sending us to college. They're sending us to Disneyland on a family trip. Like everything we do, it's because the customers come through the door. And if I do things to chase people away from Big Man Comics, then I can just, better fill out some job applications and find a different job, because that'll be what I get. And it would be what I would deserve for messing with the people, because they don't owe me a dime. None of us freelancers, crowdfunders, we're not owed a dime by you people at all. What do you mean by you people? But yeah, so that's where that was instilled in me through my dad and my grandpa and all that, my grandma, seeing them run their business. You know what I mean? So let's see. Hello everyone. Hello Gabriel. It's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. Character's important and unfortunately lacking these days. Yeah, I don't know. I think to be moral, all you have to do is think about how you would want people to treat you, right? I am Christian. You don't have to be. I won't bother you or judge you if you're not. But that is what informs my worldview. And the golden rule, which is in Christianity, but it's in every philosophy, is do unto others as you would have them do unto you, right? Do things to people that you would like them to do to you, and also don't do anything to anyone you wouldn't want them to do to you, right? That's it's two sides of the same coin. Again, I don't judge you or tell you what to do, what religion to be. I'm just telling you where I'm coming from. Okay. And when you want to know how to behave, that's all you need to know about life. Like the entire world is summed up in that. You don't have to know anything else. So it's like, okay, I'm a customer. I get things from companies. How do I want them to treat me? Well, I just told you what they did to my wife this morning when she ordered flowers online. They tried to scam her and then gave her a hard time, and she was wasted half an hour on hold to get her a paltry refund. I wouldn't want anyone to do that to me. Why would I do that to you with Big Man Comics? Why would I make low effort? Why would I have my books come out late? Why would, you know what I mean? Why would I treat you in any way I don't want to be treated? Because then if you treat people that way, you can expect to eventually be treated that way. If you treat your customers bad, they'll treat you bad by leaving, by walking out the door. So yeah, I do think that this is going all the way back to a student of God or whoever made that comment about being a professional, not having mental breakdowns on streams. Yeah, anyone that's like having a crisis online, they really should do something about it offline. Don't do that. Don't. It's like there's there's a reason they say not to air your dirty laundry, right? It matters how things look. If again, I go back to that restaurant analogy. I talk about my grandparents' restaurant. If you came, me and my wife run a restaurant, let's just say, like my grandparents, and you come into my restaurant and she and I are having a knockdown, drag out argument, just screaming at each other. Do couples fight? Do they yell at each other? They do, yeah, and it gets bad occasionally. It's real, like intense. It can. You're dating or married long enough, you're gonna get in a fight, and it ain't gonna be pretty. But that's dirty laundry. That's private. That doesn't go out there. That doesn't go to the world. That's not for everyone to see. And it's not that you're trying to hide anything. Why burden them with the awkwardness of having to see or feel that? So I don't, yeah, the drama streams and all that, dude, it gets eyeballs. That's the way media works. They say in news, I worked at two different newspapers going back 20 something years ago. If it bleeds, it leads, right? We all know this. But you can also have a good time and entertain people. And like, can you imagine like you go somewhere fun, the happiest place on earth, right? Disneyland. You go there, you're there to eat treats and ride on roller coasters and see the beautiful artistry. And then they're like, and here's why they start to get preachy and weird and talk to you about international conflicts and death and warfare and the end of the world through global warming and blah blah blah. And they just start like doing this to you while you're trying to enjoy a Mickey Mouse shaped ice cream. Like that's not the place for that. It's not. And when we come in here, we come to Big Man Comics. This is about entertainment and fun. We can have serious, deadly topics in the comics. We don't need to really bring the real life crap in here to bring you down. We're gonna be real and be honest, sure. But if I'm chasing people away from here, that's kind of the opposite of what a business is trying to do. And for sure, this is a business. I think there are some artists that are quite pretentious and they want to claim that they're an artiste and that money doesn't matter. And it's like, well, good luck being an artist without any money. How how are you going to stay in business as an artist if you don't make money? You're going to have to get a different job, then you won't make art. So I don't know. These things seem pretty elementary to me, pretty easy to understand, but I don't know. Um, let's see. Courtney says she was talking about this 20 minutes ago, and she's made a mistake and learned her lesson, reaching out for help about her personal life online. Yeah, that when you get real personal with people, like your real personal problems, that's for family and close, trusted friends. Because this is parasocial, what we're doing right now. I like some of you guys. I don't know any of you almost at all. I've met very few of you guys. But how real is the relationship, right? Social media is fake. It is a fake relationship. It isn't a real intimate relationship. And it's fun to go to the meetups. I've had events and meetups at Comic-Con. I had a huge successful one. I'm going to have it again this July at the San Diego Comic-Con. I go to all those Nerdrotic, those meetups. Those are really fun. The Friday Night Tights people. And you meet the fans in person, and so many of them are just awesome. Like any group of people, there's bad people in every group. It's not, people are bad because they're Nerdrotic fans or they're whatever fans. They're Eric July fans or something. They're comics gators, so they're bad. That isn't true. There are bad people in every group, and they are bad independent of the group. I'm not going to glom everyone together into some giant blob and say everyone who is in this group is bad. That's dumb. And it's not even like an emotional thing. It's scientific that just every group has some people like that, and you just ignore them, like whatever, that just feel sorry for them. there's something wrong. So, but I think about how spectacular and amazing my life is, and how grateful I am. So, Cowboy Bebop, Mr. Eltaeb, have you considered adapting Dean Cain All American Lawman into an animated film? Absolutely, yeah, we absolutely are going to do other things with it, and that's all going to be in the works. Don't you worry. Just when it finally happens, just sit back and enjoy it, please. So yeah, absolutely. That's goals for all of this. And don't think that like, the comics, because some people get cynical about it and go, oh, you're not interested in making comics. Your comic is just a vehicle to get to the animation, all that. And like, no, I don't look at it that way. To me, I'm comprehensive that I want it all. I do want the comic and the animation and all of it. And not the comic is just here to make into an animation. No, but I think it would be great as live action or animation. I was teasing Dean. I said, and I love that Dean's a competitor. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but he was in the NFL for a minute. He got hurt, so his career ended early. But he recovered. He seemed to have an okay career after the NFL. But he's an athlete. He is. He's that kind of guy. When we talk football and all that, like he's that kind of guy. My kind of guy. I was a football player forever and coach forever. And I was teasing him. I said, if we make a live action All American Lawman movie, do you think you could get back in shirtless 6-pack ab shape and all of that? And he was offended, but like in a funny, he was all, of course I could, and I was like, I like to hear that. Like, I love when someone has fire in their belly and they're a competitor. So, no, we've talked about it, and, things will happen when they're supposed to happen. I don't want to go off half-cocked and make promises and get people excited about things when they haven't happened or the ink hasn't dried on a contract yet. I have some very exciting things in the works in the background. And I've mentioned them obliquely about marketing and distribution deals for Empyrean and what I'm doing to Big Man Comics, but I'm not going to get into any more detail than there are contracts and contract talks going on, and I'll leave it at that for now. You know what I mean? But when things become more finalized, then we'll get into what it is and share it with you. But what I don't want to do is you can let people down in a crappy way by talking big, and then never delivering. And we see how people really don't like that in social media, like fandom, like in comics. You say you're going to do the blah, and then you don't do it. Well, people tend to not appreciate that very much. So it is important to hold your fire, hold your water, all those different things. Don't go off half cocked, and just hold on. Just hold on. even though it would be really exciting to talk about and share with you guys everything behind the scenes, just know that if you watch me, you know what I do, and you know I'm always working, and I'm always working on something exciting. And we have some deals and some things, and we're just working them, you know. So, and that's as much as I want to say. I could tell you guys all about it, but that's as much as I want to say. And when it's time to show you and tell you, then you'll see it and you'll love it. Antoine Haynes, you going to any cons this year? Yeah, I'll be at San Diego, Antoine, of course, because I live here. I live very close to the convention center in San Diego. It's a very short drive from my home. And I'll definitely be there, and we'll have the Big Man Comics booth, and we'll have the buddies there to sign and autograph, and we'll just have a great time, as always. And, do everything we can to have that big party again at at my friend's pizza place. Now, they closed that location that was right there by the convention center. They closed it because they're moving to a newer location right by the closer to the San Diego Padres stadium. They were already like 2 blocks from the stadium, but they're moving to like a different location. So once that opens, I think they're opening that location when the baseball season starts in a couple weeks, Major League Baseball. So I'll talk to Eric, the owner, and we'll get that settled, and we'll try and do the party again. We've done it there 8 or 9 years, and it was awesome. You got to, we had all the buddies there. We had the Friday Night Tights crew, a lot of them. We had the Film Threat guys. We had the side scroller people, and then they all appeared at my booth later that week. So we're going to do that. But yeah, we got a lot coming. The thing is, you got to do your work in this business, and then the rewards come. And I think there are people that, they're more interested in goofing off and causing drama and this and that, and they're not going to get a lot done, and it'll catch up to them, even unless, it kind of already has in many ways. But yeah, keep your head down. I got my head down and I'm working. I know that on this stream, I hate that you're staring at the top of my hat, but it is good because I got the logo there. But I gotta look down while I'm drawing. I'm drawing right here on I'm drawing right here on this iPad. So but you're watching what I'm drawing. I hooked it to the computer. So but yeah, we'll have a great time at Comic-Con. I was already talking to my wife about getting it. She was on the Comic-Con website this morning getting some things ready. Actually, you got to get some things ready in advance, some different things. So yeah, we'll be ready. Will you guys be ready? But it's going to be an awesome time. It's going to be an awesome time as usual. I love Comic-Con. I take so much pride in the San Diego Comic-Con because it is a home game to me. It's right here by my house. I'm very proud of my city. What it means to me is I couldn't really put into words. It means so much to me. It's where my dreams started, right here in San Diego. When I found out I was in high school and I wanted to be Jim Lee, I wanted to be his buddy, I wanted to be part of Wildstorm, and that all came true. My hard work and God's blessing, it paid off, and Jim Lee hired me, and he personally hired me. It wasn't DC Comics; it was Jim Lee on a talent search. He hired me, and to work for him in my city where I grew up, in his studio in my city where I grew up, that means so much to me. I mean, it's beyond like a dream come true. So that's really awesome. So that's why I really, really, really want to have as good a time as possible at the San Diego Comic Con. Hope to see you all there. Jim Watari, what's the name of the pizza place? It's Basic. They have a few basics around town. Some of them are called Urban. It's a friend of mine who owns it, and it's great pizza. But it's an awesome time to meet and hang out. It was really just a spectacular party last year. I can show you guys some of the. Let me finish the shading on this shoulder of this lion guy, and I'm not explaining any of the story of the Tyrus stuff right now. We'll get into it. But if you like mutants, you like superheroes, and you like ancient history and fantasy and legends, you're gonna love the Unstoppable Tyrus. You really will. It's we put everything we have into it, and we're just killing it with this. And we're sticking to a schedule. We are working hard day and night to get this thing done in a reasonable amount of time. So it's done. Then we crowdfund the production of it, the printing and the shipping and all that. And then you get it in a timely manner. What a concept, right? Yeah, I guarantee that we'll do the best job we can, and we'll get it to you quick after you you pledge your crowdfunding or whatever. We'll get it to you fast. That's how I like to do business. You guys are great for the support, so I want to be great in my execution for you guys. Okay, Lion Man is done. Lion Man and the King guy look great. Let's go to I'm going to open my photos on my iMac, my Mac Studio. Mac Studio is a great computer. Apple should not have made it because they have the Mac Pro. It's like $6,000, and the Mac Studio is just as good, and it's like $2,000. They goofed making this thing, and I hope they don't like not make them in the future. But yeah, they shouldn't have made it. It's too awesome. Let's see, April. Man, I'm scrolling through the months. Got to find July. July of 24. July of 24. Let's find Comic-Con, and we can find that party that night. Man, I do a lot of stuff. I go to museums, I go here, I go there. Okay, let's see. And yeah. So here it is. And it was a great day because it was my birthday. Let's bring this on. It was my birthday that day. It was July 24th. So yeah, so that was me out front with my son. We were setting up, standing by my sign there that had a bunch of my different comics that are coming. I was with an old friend of mine, Brian Burling. He used to work at IDW 20 years ago. And there's Chris from Film Threat. There's Mr. Side Scrollers, very tall guy like me. Yeah, it was a good time. And we sold the place out. The patio was filled. The indoor of the bar was filled. There's Quarter Black Garrett. There's a Blur. There's more trash on the ground, another Blur. There's, Nerdrotic and all those guys. So we had an awesome time. There's Alan from Film Threat. We had a great time. It was really, and then here's me at Comic-Con at the Big Man Comics booth. T-shirts, comics, all kinds of great stuff. But yeah, Comic-Con is absolutely a joy. I absolutely love it. I love doing it. I love being there. And I love seeing you guys there. That's really fun. So Basic is the name of the pizza place. I'll have to check their Instagram because they did close down this fall, the one location, and they're moving to a new location closer to the San Diego Padres Stadium. So yeah. But they'll be open months before Comic-Con. And my friends own it. So they've always been so awesome about letting us use the place. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And I want everyone there. I want you all to come and have a good old time. So what is this? This is a mutant lion. They're called mana beasts in my comic. They're not called mutants. They're half man, half animals. And we're not going to talk about it yet. We'll get into all the lore and all kinds of stuff later. I don't want to spoil things. I came up with some ingenious lore. The concept that Tyrus and I had, it was a small idea. It wasn't a lot of stuff. And then I created an entire world and stuff off of it. It's a lot of fun. And I'll show you guys Empyrean too. That's the first book I have coming out this year. And Empyrean is my love letter to Star Wars, and it's also a great family and heroic message. And we love that. And that book is done being illustrated, finished. We worked on that for almost a year, but it's why is that doing that? That should be sealed and not do that. What the F is going on? Hold on. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that was. But Empyrean, I'll show you some artwork for that. That one, they should be my guy who's doing the colors for me on that. I hired someone because I didn't have time to color it anymore because I'm working on the book you see here. And drawing this is a full-time gig. Drawing this is all day, 6 days a week. I'm doing 6 pages a week is what I'm trying to do. So, yeah, I don't have time to color Empyrean. But I found a guy. Great guy. I met him at my party last year, actually. He found out about my party, so he showed up, and he's a veteran comic book colorist, like almost 30 years, I think. And he's outstanding, and he's able to easily match my style, and I don't have to correct him or give him any notes. He's just killing it. So he's doing more than half the book, and it's because I did like almost the first third or whatever. I think I did just about a third of the book. But yeah, he's killing it. I'll show you some of that. Hold on real quick. Jim Watari is a new member. Thank you, Jim. Yeah, we'll be seeing you up there. Let me show you some of Empyrean. Let me dig into this here. Hold on. I have a folder with a bunch of the images. And he uploaded a few more this weekend, so let me fetch those. But Empyrean is a sci-fi. It's a husband and wife team, and there's this government, right, led by Casimir, right? He's what we find out right away. He's not a great guy. It's a Kim Jong-un situation. He's a dictator, but he's got everyone fooled with his fake news and his authoritarian government and all that he's this great benevolent leader. But he's really a dictator, a piece of crap. He's an awful, awful person. And hold on, let me download these, this. This one. Okay, download. Okay, and he's horrible. And they live on this planet, and there's this one city on the planet where they all live. Soulless. These people, and everything is provided, and it's all great, but it's not. It's a facade. It's horrible. It's ugly. There's no ugly. It's horrible and ugly. It's ugly. It's kind of like fugly, and the people aren't free. They're not free at all. They're not free to believe anything. They're not free to do anything. They're not free to live. And there's a legend of a lost paradise that is promised to those who will believe. So you see like the religious metaphor there, right? And here it is, looking beautiful. But there's artifacts, there's legends, there's old scrolls, there's old art, all kinds of old proof of it, but it's been dismissed as nonsense. Like kind of like on Earth, the lost city of Atlantis or anything. Don't you love this? The illustrator, since it was 0G and it was in space, he drew this one where the character was upside down when he's exploring space. This is our main character, Oliver. And he's putting on this wingsuit to go out and explore. He's going to go down to the surface of this planet and explore things. But yeah, it's fantastic. This is outstanding work. But there's a lost paradise, and Casimir, the dictator, he knows of it, and he knows it's real, according to all his people and his scientists and stuff. And there's another big scientist, and she's been studying and all that, and she thinks it's real, and no one knows it's real, this paradise. And she's now pretty much proven it. And her husband is a test pilot. Look at this cover, by the way. This is gorgeous. Her husband is Oliver. So that's Oliver and Elvira in the center there. She's the scientist. He's the test pilot. He's your like wild guy, like your flyboy, your Han Solo, kind of that devil may care, badass dude, that kind of guy. And she's more of the orderly scientific type and stuff like that. And she's been looking for this paradise just as scientific research. But if she finds it, it'll kind of threaten his power. And there's already rebel groups and stuff like that. And they have a hidden rebel base off in the wilderness. And the whole planet is deadly, except for the big city they live in. And the rebels are kind of like, no, we believe her. She should be the ruler, this, that, and the other. And so now there's a conflict between Casimir's government and Elvira. And her and her husband are trying to get the info and trying to get into space to find this lost world, to see if it's real. See if there's a better place for people to live, free from the authoritarian rule of this Casimir. So to me, it's like timely what we live in right now, the world we live in with this horrible, just going through Biden and then going through what the Europeans are going through with their evil globalist rulers over there that, they want to arrest people for Facebook memes and all this shit. And we want freedom. We want liberty, right? That's what we want as people. We want to determine our own lives. And it's a beautiful story of a husband and wife. They have kids. So I put family in it for sure. And because that's important. You need to see positive role models of families. Look at this relationship here. She's yelling at him for almost getting them killed. And he's just laughing it off like, oh, come on. You knew we were safe the whole time. Then he's flexing on her and stuff. And then they're going to kiss and stuff. So they have a very healthy relationship. And that's important to me. Of course, here you have the rainy, it's like Neo Tokyo from Akira. This crazy looking city here and these soldiers and all that. And there's Casimir coming on to give his propaganda. There's marches in the streets against him. So we set the tone with that sort of thing. And then of course the stormtroopers go too far. The people catch on fire from a Molotov cocktail. They're beating them down. They're electrocuting them. They're running these crazy emu ostrich looking robot things. It's really, really fun stuff. It's really awesome. So yeah, look at the person here. He's running for his life from this thing. It's going to zap him into oblivion, and there's no freedom. But once the people, and here he is giving his speech about how there's freedom and abundance and food and shelter and warmth and all this, and he's giving this speech, but in the background you just see everything he's saying is untrue. It's total disgusting rule with an iron fist. So yeah, it's outstanding work. It's really fun. I'll put it up against any indie comic, anything Marvel and DC. This is better. And you'll love it. They ruined Star Wars, the woke morons, and I fixed it. I fixed it for you. So if that's what you love, if that's what you want, sci-fi, which who doesn't love a great adventure with awesome, fun heroes and gorgeous artwork, then I brought it back for you. You don't need to get it from Disney. You got it from me now. I have it much better. I destroy them. You know what I mean? Destroy them in competition of artwork and storylines and all that. So, and it's sad. It's sad what that has become, but we don't need to focus on the negative. We can mention the negative and acknowledge it exists, But to me, it's always like, well, what are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? Here's some of the different locations on this inhospitable world: deadly, arid, deserts, poisonous swamps, just random lightning storms, freezing temperatures, volcanoes. You can't really live anywhere on this planet but that city that the dictators established. But there is a rebel outpost in the wilderness. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of fun. It's the David and Goliath, right? The human spirit overcoming the giant, powerful dictator. There's something to it. There's winks and nods to Star Wars and different kind of sci-fi and things I grew up with in the 80s and the early 90s. There's a few winks at stuff like that, you know. So yeah, we have a lot of fun, and we get into their culture too. Their culture on this planet. They are humans, but it's in the distant future. So it's like Dune. It's like Warhammer in that regard, that they are humans from Earth, but you know, Earth is a long lost legend and all that. Oh, and there's this guy, Scaife. I love the name Scaife, how I came up with that. He's more android, more cyborg than man. He's an abomination, and he's a ruthless killer. He's like the right-hand murderer of the dictator guy. And he's, even though he is human, or at least 5% human or whatever, he does hate humanity. He's an awful, awful being, you know. I love this scene. We got a little Die Hard crawling through the ducting vents here, right? We got a little McLean, right? Back to the coast, right? We got a little bit of that here. So there's fun. There's espionage. There's I was watching Hitchcock films at the time I wrote the first draft, so I have some really suspenseful moments where the good guys are about to be caught, and I really played up the suspense. I ratcheted it all the way up as much as I can. So we have a lot of fun here. We have a lot of fun with this stuff. So yeah, Empyrean is it's going to be a hit. Working. That's not a word. We're working on a huge marketing distribution deal right now. But again, like I said, I don't want to talk about anything like that until those contracts are signed, until the ink is dry on that stuff. So we'll see. But yeah, we're having a blast. This is what it's about. Is having fun and telling stories. There's Otomo. He's the butler for the husband and wife, but he also is capable of battle, stuff like that. He can transform from cooking and cleaning and watching kids to shooting laser blasts at evil giant guardian robots as you sneak into the bad guy's base. So yeah, Otomo is he's an awesome guy. He's an awesome robot. He's got his own personality, and he's taking on this giant brute of a cyborg, or not a cyborg. This one's a robot. The other guy was a cyborg. But we're having a lot of fun, and you know, I'm always impressed with my collaborator on this, AK, on the guy that illustrated this. He illustrated the Dean Cain book, the stuff he comes up with. Because I leave it loose. I do write the full script and all that with no dialogue or panel descriptions. You know, I just write, you know, here's what happens on this page. This is the point of this page, you know. So let's see. So yeah, so that's what we have coming up there. What you see on the screen here is the Unstoppable Tyrus. And that's coming along. We're up to page 60. And I'm currently illustrating that as you watch. So it's kind of like Chipotle, right? You're watching me make your order. You're gonna ask me for extra cheese. Guac is extra though. Big Man Comics guac is extra. So let's see. Jim Wittar, I'll be going to WonderCon. Gabe, are you going to WonderCon? You know, they emailed me about booth and all that, and I never responded. I would like to go to WonderCon. It's local and all that. But what I've seen online, dude, it's empty. There's like no fans there. So I don't know, man. Like no one's going to that thing, and I don't know why. It was awesome when it was in San Francisco, but you know, San Francisco is what it is now. So I wouldn't want to go to it because I wanted them to keep it in San Francisco when San Francisco was tolerable. But now that San Francisco's beyond like Mad Max Thunderdome hell, don't want it in San Francisco, but it for whatever reason, it's not working in Anaheim. And that sucks. But like it feels like, and I'm not encouraging you not to go have a good time, but I need to wait to see that people are actually showing up to this thing. Because you know, I don't care how popular your stuff is. If there's no one there, there's no one there. And that's how it's looked the last few years. WonderCon, where you check it out online. Don't they do it on a weird day like Easter or something like that? Like Easter weekend. The one that they just did down in Florida. I want to go to that MegaCon. Can they quit doing it on Super Bowl Sunday? Can you not do it that weekend, please? Like it's kind of a big day, Super Bowl. I want to watch the Super Bowl. I don't want to be at a convention, you know. But maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me, as hundreds of millions of people watch the Super Bowl. I don't know. So I don't know. Do they think that like, oh, nerds, like comic book fans, they don't like football? Like that ain't true. Oh, who's calling? You guys get the spam all day? Oh, this is George the Giant Slayer. I'm going to answer this on the air, but I'll tell him I got to go. Hello? Hey, George, I'm live on the air. What's up? But I'll call you back. I'm only going to go for another 10 minutes. I go till noon, but I'll call you back, okay? All right. Bye-bye. Okay, there you go. See, that was George the Giant Slayer. Yeah, he wanted to talk to me about some stuff. He's got some neat ideas about things. So, but as far as conventions, I'd like to do more. I think I will do more. A lot of 2024 for me is focusing on getting a catalog of books done. I want to have the Unstoppable Tyrant. Here's what I want to do. I want to have at least 4 and be well into a 5th before the end of this calendar year. Is there another type of year? I guess there's fiscal years and all that. But before the end of 2025, I want to have the Unstoppable Tyrus Volume 1 done. I want to have Dean Cain Volume 2 done. I want to have Empyrean done. I want to have Jericho Green and the Hammerheads done. And I want to have Tripoli done. Now, that's a 5th book. And I just came up with Tripoli like a month ago. I love Tripoli. It's a military thriller. It's a new genre that I haven't tackled yet. Like a realistic military thriller about private military contractors in the city of Tripoli, Libya. And it's really violent, fun. And it has the message that I always love of fathers and sons and stuff like that. So you'll see if you like 13 Hours, if you like Black Hawk Down, if you like stuff like that, you're going to love Tripoli. But I want to get all those done this year. And then I think I could start doing more conventions next year. This year, I'm still just going to, I think, stick to San Diego. I was telling my wife, look into Denver, like see what they're doing there. Because I'm from Colorado. I like to visit my dad and my brothers out there. So it'll be an excuse to go to Denver. But I told her, look into Denver, see if that's doable for us. But my schedule's so busy right now that I don't want to be doing a bunch of conventions. I'd like to go and meet everyone and shake hands. But I got to do what I'm doing right here that you're watching me do right now. I got to do this. I got to get these done because what's the point of going to conventions if I don't have much for you to look at? I don't want to go to conventions and just coming soon and just keep doing that year after year. Like you can't do that. You can't tell people that you're going to do something and then I can't believe I'm having to explain this, not to you, but just to the universe. You can't tell people you're going to do something and then not do it. You can't repeatedly do that. You've got to say, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it in this time frame, and then do it. I know that's a radical concept to some people, but yes, you definitely should do what you say you're going to do and do it in a timely manner. Yes, that would be a good idea. Again, it's that customer service thing I talked to you about that I watched growing up at my grandparents' restaurant. You say you're going to do something, okay, great, do it. So I want to have books and I want to have multiple books. I want to have multiple quality books. So a lot of this year, that's what most of the time is going to be spent doing. But then I think we'll have enough of a catalog where then we can afford to take more time off to get out there. And, I'll have more people hired and more people working. Because currently I've hired about 3 different people to 1 to draw, 1 to color, 2 to color. And, we'll bring in more people, but I'm very selective about who I would hire. Very selective. So you can't just hire anyone because, well, things can go wrong. You hire the wrong people. You got to have the right team around you. And, to get the stuff done. It matters. Let's see. This year it's at the end of March, 28th to 30th. That's WonderCon in Anaheim, right by Disneyland. Yeah, I guess I could still look into it. It's about a month away. But, the idea of being there 3 days, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then like the crowds are just sparse as they've been. I don't want to do that. I want to go stand around at a booth and twiddle my thumbs. Like, I don't know. Maybe it'll be better this year, but the last few years it's just been dead, So I'm sure I could still get a booth, it's not it hasn't been great for them, which is unfortunate. I love Comic-Con and the people who work for Comic-Con, I know them. And because it's my town, I know them. I've been, and they're great people. They work so hard to make the best convention in the world, the best convention in the world. And believe me, I want WonderCon to be amazing. I do. I really do. I sincerely do. But there's something wrong, and I don't know what it is. There's something wrong with it that it's not. It's currently just not drawing the way it should. So we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, we'll see. But thank you guys for coming in. And yeah, the Unstoppable Tyrus, we're kicking ass on that. It's going really well. Tyrus's birthday was, I think, the 21st. I think he turned 52. The big fella's 52. Wow. So he's what? 52. I'm 46. He's 6 years older than me, 6.5 years older than me. So yeah, there's Unstoppable Tyrus. I'll show you a little bit more of Unstoppable Tyrus. Here's one I was working on the other day that I finished. Pretty good, huh? Look at that. Gotta have beautiful women in your comics. You hear that? Mainstream woke weirdos, you gotta have beautiful women. They need to be beautiful. It matters. What's she injecting him with here? What do you guys think this is? Is it steroids? Is it something the government is mandating she put in his arm? I didn't write that. I wouldn't write something like that. How boring, right? But look at this. Look at these mutants. I love this stuff. I love Ninja Turtles as a kid, right? So we've got these mutants here. Got this goat named Cormac. We got this bird, Zelix, the evil leader. These are all the bad guys here. This is, except for the orangutan. He's friends with Tyrus in this, and he's their prisoner right now. You're going to love this. You're going to love this so much. This is so much fun, this book. And yeah, you got Cormac, the goat. You got Greg, Clegg. Yes, the name rhymes. And that was a wink to old Marvel, you know, with your alliterations and old DC. Peter Parker, Lois Lane, J. Jonah Jameson. So I had Greg Clegg, you know what I mean? And he's not a nice fella. And you have Gorgon here. She's awesome. She's the leader of the bad guys. So what's this big old Jack Kirby style machine they're getting this guy in? You'll see. Look at this. I love this right here. Hold on. Let me scroll. Is it this here? Yeah, look at this. That's fun. All that tech. That's so much fun to work on. Look at that. Just telling him, have a seat. Taking his jacket off, getting in there. So yeah, this is all done on the iPad. Great use of negative space there, using the white instead of the black to draw. That's a fun one there. So you'll see. You're gonna freaking love this one. I can't wait till this thing gets colored. You're gonna fall out of your seat with joy. You're gonna love this. Look at this Jack Kirby style machines, right? And these little people here looking into it. They got their evil plans, guys. They're bad guys. What do you think? She's beautiful, but she's bad. So, yeah. Anyway, that's the Unstoppable Tyrus. According to my math, I'll be done late May drawing this thing, and hopefully the colors will be catching up to me around then. And we'll get it done for you guys, and you're going to love it. So we got a lot of stuff coming. And make sure you hit the like, hit the share, all that good stuff, and we will talk to you. Go head over to Big Man Comics and get yourself a t-shirt. And get yourself Dean Cain All-American Lawman Volume 1. It is the best. You will absolutely love it. The most entertaining comic out right now. Better than any comic, literally. Any indie comic, any mainstream, you will love it. You want action adventure. That's the main thing you want in comics, and I did the best with that. With Akeon, with Dean, myself, we did an outstanding job, beautifully printed. It ships immediately if you order it, and also get a t-shirt. And a little more patience. Imperium will be here. A little more patience. Tyrus, Dean Cain Volume 2, all of it's coming. All of it's being worked on really hard. Love you guys. Follow me on X on Big Man Comics. Everywhere else on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, I'm Gabe Eltaeb, and you see how to spell that right there on the screen. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.